Hi guys, thanks for watching. So I've got the sun behind me in this one, and you can see it flinging off what's called a coronal mass ejection, where some magma from the sun is blasted off into space. And that is there because throughout the whole of Halloween weekend, really, it looks like we're going to be exposed to some pretty crazy geomagnetic storms. It takes a couple of days for these events. Once the solar flare thing has happened, it takes a couple of days for those energies to actually hit the Earth, reach the Earth. And it all started actually on the 28th of October, and I'm doing this on the 29th. But this started yesterday. We've got several sunspots on the face of the sun at the moment. 2891, 2889, what's that? Oh, can't read. I think it's 2896. It's kind of blurred on my screen there. I should have checked. Sorry. But the main one is 2887, sunspot number 2887. And that is really kind of kicking off at the moment. Yesterday it sent off an X1 flare, which is a really powerful flare. And the solar wind is quite fast at the moment at 296.1 kilometers a second, so it is really shifting. And the proton density is 13.5 protons a cubic centimeter, which is very flowery way of saying that the atmosphere is quite thick, so this thing is traveling quite fast. So here it comes, basically. That coronal mass ejection, just like, I mean, that's an earlier one, but that's a NASA picture of the sun, and that's kind of what it looks like when it happens. And there was one of those yesterday, October the 28th, and it's heading almost directly for Earth at the moment because that sunspot is actually facing the Earth. So it's going to be a geomagnetic stormy kind of a weekend, and I think that's really worth mentioning. This is about astrology here, but I think it's worth mentioning that. I really do. Essentially, a geomagnetic storm is likely to affect our electronic lives in a big way, because everything that we do on the internet, everything that we do with our cameras, making videos like I'm doing here, the whole lot depends on electricity of one form or another. And really, you know, it's almost untested. We do have sunspots quite often. We have geomagnetic storms quite often. Coronal mass ejections happen many times every year, but we never quite know what's going to happen. One of the biggest ones ever came in Victorian times, and it knocked out the whole telegraph system. So if it gets really crazy, it could take hospitals offline, that kind of thing, the emergency services. So that's the physical effect of it. It does play into our spiritual lives as well, quite a bit. Now, this has been something of a wacky week in astrology. Right now, the moon is just leaving Leo as I'm making this video. It's going to enter Virgo today, and Halloween weekend is going to be all about having the moon in Virgo. Also, it's a last quarter moon now. She is under half full, about 40% full at the time I'm making this video. And the new moon will come up on, let me just have a look. The new moon will actually not, well, yes, for 4th of November. 4th of November, so really not until we're in the middle of next week. But this time of coming up to Halloween, very focused on the home as much as anything else. Now, if you're watching this video today, you might like to know that there's no great shakes actually going on right now, but we're still subject to something that happened on Thursday. A very obstinate T-square between the Leo moon, the Scorpio sun, and wow, Scorpio is can be quite a frustrating energy, really. You know, the colours of the world turn black and white when you're seeing things in Scorpio terms. You know, there's like no middle ground, basically. So we've got that with the Leo moon and Jupiter as well. And Jupiter is sextile Venus at the moment, is creating a really kind of tense atmosphere. Worst of that was yesterday, but it's still hanging in the air today. And it's tending to get people to bury their heads in the sand. You know, any conflicts that are going on are just too scary, so we like to pretend they're not going on. We like to just avoid them. So not much is getting done to resolve the conflicts that are coming up. Different energy on Saturday the 30th though, day before Halloween. The Sun is going to square Saturn, and it's going to get people avoiding things a bit, I suppose. But quite honestly, the best thing you can do is focus your attention on fun, socialising, and it is, you know, it's a festive weekend, it's Halloween, and as the year moves on, after Halloween, that's when we start thinking about Christmas, you know, fireworks night, haven't we, on the 5th of November, that's a big thing in UK anyway. I don't know how well that plays out in the States, but that's our next thing. But really, you know, after this point in the year, the weather starts getting crazy, and it's been absolutely insane weather in Wales here the last few days, so that's coming in already. But yeah, you know, this kind of it's going to seem like crazy to do any chores, to do anything really important. It's going to feel crazy to do anything like that on Saturday, leading us into the actual Halloween day on Sunday, when the moon is going to sextile the sun in Scorpio. That's going to be quite spooky trine, actually. Sorry, quite a spooky sextile. And Scorpio Sun is also going to be trining Uranus, which adds a kind of a cheeky element to things. So it's going to be one hell of a weekend, friends. Watch out for those geomagnetic storms. If the internet isn't absolutely wiped out, I will be here on Sunday with a look at next week's astro weather, like, you know, geomagnetic storms and stuff and what's going on in the sky, and the astrology of that as well. So with that, thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you again soon in a future video. Don't forget to hit subscribe and drop a like on this one if you've enjoyed it, and take care of yourselves, friends. Bye.